Have you ever wondered how a single project could change the course of history? Today we dive into the origins of the Manhattan Project. It all started in the late 30s when the world was on the brink of a Second World War. The Allies had a growing fear that Nazi Germany was on the verge of developing nuclear weapons. This thought was not only alarming but also a call to action. It was this fear that birthed the idea of the Manhattan Project in 1939. Now let's shed some light on the key personalities involved in the early stages. The project was a collaborative effort of some of the greatest scientific minds of the time. One such luminary was Robert Oppenheimer, a theoretical physicist. His belief in the feasibility of an atomic bomb was a driving force behind the project. He wasn't alone in his conviction. Other brilliant minds joined him, bringing together a wealth of knowledge and expertise that was unparalleled. In 1942, the Manhattan Project found its commander, General Leslie Groves. A military man known for his organizational skills and tenacity, Groves was the one who brought structure and direction to the project. His leadership was instrumental in transforming the project from an idea into a reality. Another significant figure was Enrico Fermi, a Nobel laureate physicist who played a crucial role in the project. His work on nuclear reactions was key to understanding the potential of atomic energy for military use. As the project began to take shape, it was clear that it would be a massive undertaking. The sheer scale of the project demanded a well-coordinated effort, leading to the establishment of numerous research and production sites across the United States. The coordination and organization required for such a project were immense, but the stakes were even higher. Thus, the stage was set for a project that would redefine warfare and world politics. Could an atomic bomb be built? That was the burning question. In the early 40s, the world of science was teetering on the edge of a revolutionary breakthrough. Nuclear physics was the new frontier, and its potential for military use was both fascinating and terrifying. The feasibility of the Manhattan Project hinged on this very science, the understanding of atomic structures, and the manipulation of uranium and plutonium. Uranium and plutonium, these were the key players. These elements held the potential to unleash an unprecedented amount of energy if, and only if, they could be isolated and purified to a suitable degree. This challenge was monumental, but the scientific minds of the era, like Robert Oppenheimer, believed it was surmountable. They stood on the precipice of a new age, ready to dive into the unknown. Yet creating the bomb was not just about scientific feasibility. It was a colossal endeavor that demanded meticulous organization. Enter General Leslie Groves. In 1942, this military engineer was appointed to spearhead the project. His task? To coordinate the efforts of some of the brightest minds of the time, like Enrico Fermi, and to establish a network of research and production sites across the United States. The organization of the Manhattan Project was an exercise in precision and secrecy. Groves' leadership ensured that the project moved forward despite the numerous challenges. The research was compartmentalized, and information was shared on a strict, need-to-know basis. This level of secrecy was crucial in maintaining the project's edge in the global race towards nuclear weaponry. The Manhattan Project was a colossal jigsaw puzzle. Each piece, whether it was the scientific feasibility or the complex organization, had to fit perfectly for the picture to come together. The stakes were high, the challenges were daunting, but the vision was clear. With a clear vision and a formidable team, the Manhattan Project was ready to roll. A project of this magnitude required multiple sites, each with its specific purpose. The Manhattan Project was a colossal undertaking that spanned across the United States, with three pivotal locations being Los Alamos, Oak Ridge, and Hanford. Los Alamos, established in 1943, was the brain of the operation. Nestled atop the New Mexico mesas, this secret city was the primary site for scientific research. Here, the brightest minds of the era, including Robert Oppenheimer, worked tirelessly to crack the code of nuclear fission. Next, we moved to Oak Ridge, Tennessee. From 1942, this site was the heart of uranium enrichment. The process was no easy feat. It involved separating the tiny fraction of uranium-235, the isotope necessary for a chain reaction, from the far more common uranium-238. The researchers and engineers at Oak Ridge successfully rose to the challenge, setting the stage for the next step in the process. Our journey takes us to our final site, Hanford, located in Washington state. Built in 1943, Hanford was dedicated to the production of plutonium, another crucial element for the atomic bomb. The process of producing plutonium was equally complex and demanding, involving nuclear reactors and a series of chemical separations. But the scientists and workers at Hanford were up to the task, and their efforts resulted in the plutonium that would be used in the Fat Man bomb. Uranium and plutonium were the key ingredients in the atomic bombs. The process of transforming these raw elements into highly enriched substances was a massive undertaking. But with the combined efforts of the scientists, engineers, and workers at Los Alamos, Oak Ridge, and Hanford, the Manhattan Project succeeded in its mission. Each site played a crucial role in the success of the Manhattan Project. Without the groundbreaking research at Los Alamos, the uranium enrichment at Oak Ridge, and the plutonium production at Hanford, the atomic bomb might have remained a theoretical concept rather than a reality. These sites were the foundations upon which the Manhattan Project was built, and their stories are a testament to human ingenuity and determination in the face of immense challenges. Behind every great project are great minds. In the case of the Manhattan Project, these minds belong to some of the greatest scientific luminaries of the time. Let's take a moment to appreciate these individuals and their contributions. First, there was Enrico Fermi, an Italian physicist known as the architect of the nuclear age. Fermi played a critical role in developing the world's first nuclear reactor, the Chicago Pile 1, laying the groundwork for the atomic bomb. His work on neutron physics was instrumental in the project, and his insights into nuclear reactions helped guide the team through countless challenges. Next, we have General Leslie Groves. Though not a scientist, Groves was the military man in charge of the project, overseeing its organization and execution. His task was Herculean, coordinating the efforts of thousands of scientists, engineers, and workers across multiple sites, all while maintaining utmost secrecy. Groves' leadership and managerial skills were key to the project's success. Speaking of secrecy, the Manhattan Project was shrouded in it. The project was so classified that many of those involved didn't even know the full extent of what they were working on. Information was given on a need-to-know basis, and the project's true goal was known only to a select few. This level of secrecy was necessary to prevent information leaks that could compromise the project and give an advantage to enemy nations. Secrecy also played a part in the personal lives of those involved. Many of the project's scientists and workers lived in isolated, purpose-built towns where their actions and communications were heavily monitored. They made significant personal sacrifices, living in these conditions for years, all for the sake of the project. The Manhattan Project was an extraordinary feat of science and engineering, but at its heart, it was a human endeavor. It was the combined efforts, the passion, the dedication, and the immense intellect of these individuals that made the impossible possible. They worked tirelessly, driven by a sense of urgency, the weight of the war, and the pursuit of scientific discovery. The Manhattan Project was not just about science, it was also about people. These people, their stories, their triumphs, and their struggles are all part of the rich tapestry that is the Manhattan Project. Secrecy was paramount, but that didn't stop others from trying to learn the project's secrets. The Manhattan Project was shrouded in a veil of utmost secrecy. However, the allure of such a game-changing technology was irresistible to foreign intelligence agencies. In this clandestine world of atomic research, espionage was inevitable. The most notable infiltrations came from the Soviet Union. Their intelligence network was vast, and they had spies deeply embedded in the United States. The Soviets understood the strategic advantage that the atomic bomb could provide and were keen to keep pace with the Allies. One such spy was Klaus Fuchs, a German-born physicist. Fuchs worked at Los Alamos, the heart of the Manhattan Project, and passed on crucial information to the Soviets. His betrayal was a significant breach of the project's security, and it accelerated the Soviet Union's atomic bomb project. Another key player in this espionage drama was Julius Rosenberg, an American engineer. He was convicted of providing the Soviets with classified information about the atomic bomb. His actions and subsequent execution sparked international controversy, and brought the issue of atomic espionage into the public eye. The presence of spies within the Manhattan Project added a layer of tension to an already high-stakes situation. The project leaders had to maintain the utmost secrecy while constantly being on the lookout for potential leaks. This dual pressure was a significant challenge and a testament to the project's complexity. However, despite these breaches, the Manhattan Project continued. The Allies managed to outpace their adversaries and were the first to develop and use the atomic bomb. The project's success, in spite of the espionage activities, speaks to the resilience and determination of the individuals involved. In essence, the Manhattan Project was a chess game with moves and counter-moves. It was a battle of wits, where scientists and spies played their parts in a race against time and each other. The stakes were high, and the outcome would forever change the course of history. Even amidst the shroud of espionage, the Manhattan Project was steaming ahead, laying the groundwork for what would be a historical turning point. In the final stages of the Manhattan Project, the scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to perfect their designs. The focus was on two types of bombs, one using uranium-235, the other using plutonium. The uranium bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was a simpler design, and its functionality was never tested prior to use. The plutonium bomb, however, was a more complex design, and its functionality was tested in the now infamous Trinity test. This test, the world's first nuclear explosion, took place in the New Mexico desert on July 16, 1945. The bomb's code name was Fat Man, and its successful detonation marked a significant milestone in the Manhattan Project. Meanwhile, the military was preparing for the eventual use of these weapons. B-29 bombers were modified to carry the atomic bombs, and flight crews were trained for the mission. The target cities were chosen based on their strategic importance to Japan's war effort. Hiroshima, the first target, was a significant military hub, while Nagasaki was a key industrial city. The stage was set for a demonstration of power that the world had never seen before. The scientists had done their work, the bombs were ready, and the world was on the brink of the nuclear age. If you're enjoying this journey through history, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell for more such videos. The climax of the Manhattan Project came in August 1945. The world was on the brink of a cataclysmic shift, one that would forever alter the course of history. The decision to deploy the atomic bombs, codenamed Little Boy and Fat Man, was not made lightly. It was a decision that weighed heavily on President Harry S. Truman and his advisors. The moral dilemmas were immense. On one hand, the bombings could potentially end the war swiftly, saving countless lives that would otherwise be lost in a drawn-out conflict. On the other hand, the use of such powerful weaponry would inevitably lead to massive civilian casualties. Despite the moral quandaries, the decision was made. On August 6, 1945, the B-29 bomber Enola Gay dropped Little Boy on Hiroshima, marking the first use of nuclear weapons in warfare. 3 days later, Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki. The impact was immediate and devastating. The cities were leveled, and tens of thousands of people were killed instantly. The death toll continued to rise in the following weeks and months due to injuries and radiation sickness. These bombings marked a turning point in World War II. Japan, already weakened from continuous Allied attacks, was unable to recover from the devastating blow dealt by the atomic bombs. On August 15th, just 6 days after the bombing of Nagasaki, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender. World War II was finally over. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were not just the climax of the Manhattan Project. They were the climax of the most destructive conflict in human history. They signaled the end of one era and the beginning of another, the nuclear age. From that point on, nuclear weapons would become a central element of international politics, shaping the dynamics of the Cold War and beyond. The world had witnessed the devastating power of nuclear weapons, and with that knowledge came a new understanding of war, of power, and of the potential for human destruction. The end of World War II marked the beginning of a new era. An era that was deeply shaped by the aftermath of the Manhattan Project. As the smoke of the atomic bombings cleared, the world was left to grapple with the reality of a weapon of unprecedented destructive power. The successful creation of the atomic bomb did not just end a war, it launched a new phase of geopolitical tension and competition. The world had entered the age of nuclear arms race. As the United States reveled in its newfound power, other superpowers, notably the Soviet Union, were spurred into developing their own nuclear arsenals. This competition for nuclear supremacy set the stage for the Cold War, a tense standoff that lasted for nearly half a century. But the legacy of the Manhattan Project wasn't confined to the political arena. It had profound implications on scientific research and technological advancements. The project had marshaled enormous resources and brought together brilliant minds, setting a precedent for large-scale government-funded research initiatives. This model would later be replicated in initiatives like the space race, leading to landmark achievements like the moon landing. The Manhattan Project also sparked a global conversation on the ethics of nuclear weapons. The immense devastation caused by the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki elicited widespread condemnation and prompted calls for nuclear disarmament. This debate continues to this day, shaping policies and international relations. Moreover, the Manhattan Project had a lasting impact on the individuals involved. Many of the scientists, haunted by the devastating power they had helped unleash, became vocal advocates for nuclear disarmament and peace. Figures like Robert Oppenheimer, once instrumental in the creation of the bomb, dedicated much of their post-war lives to advocating for responsible use of scientific knowledge. The Manhattan Project was more than an extraordinary scientific endeavor. It was a turning point that marked the dawn of a new era, an era of nuclear power, geopolitical tension, and ethical dilemmas. The Manhattan Project's legacy was far-reaching and continues to impact our world today. The Manhattan Project was not just a scientific endeavor. It was also an expensive undertaking. The colossal mission of creating an atomic bomb involved more than just harnessing the power of the atom. It required a massive financial commitment, and the United States government spared no expense. When we delve into the economics of the Manhattan Project, we find that it cost approximately $2 billion during the course of World War II. To put that into perspective, in today's currency, that would equate to over $23 billion. That's a staggering sum, especially for a project shrouded in secrecy with no guaranteed outcome. The funds for the project were allocated to various components. The construction of the vast research and production sites like Los Alamos, Oak Ridge, and Hanford devoured a large chunk of the budget. These sites were essentially mini-cities, complete with housing, utilities, and other facilities for thousands of workers. Then there were the costs associated with the procurement and processing of raw materials like uranium and plutonium. This involved not only the purchase of these materials, but also the development of sophisticated methods for their enrichment. The project also employed some of the brightest minds of the era, and their salaries were another considerable expense. Additionally, the extensive security measures to maintain secrecy added to the cost. But beyond the direct costs, the Manhattan Project had a far-reaching economic impact. It led to advancements in various fields, from nuclear physics to engineering, that fueled technological growth and economic development in the post-war years. Moreover, the Manhattan Project marked a shift in how scientific research was funded, transitioning from private sponsorship to government-funded research. This change had lasting implications for the scientific community and the nature of research and development. In conclusion, the Manhattan Project was a testament to what nations can achieve when resources are no object. The significant investment redefined the course of the war and reshaped the global landscape in its aftermath. But it also raises questions about the cost of scientific progress and the ethical considerations that come with it. The Manhattan Project left a lasting legacy, both technologically and ethically. Diving into the world of technology, the Manhattan Project propelled humankind into the nuclear age. It was a turning point, a moment that marked the harnessing of atomic energy. This leap in technology, though initially used for destructive purposes, eventually paved the way for peaceful applications. Nuclear power, for example, is now a significant source of electricity worldwide, powering millions of homes and businesses. The project also spurred advancements in various scientific fields. Nuclear physics, chemistry, and engineering all experienced a revolution. It was a catalyst that sparked a new era of research and development, pushing the boundaries of what was previously thought possible. However, the legacy of the Manhattan Project is not solely technological. It also sparked profound ethical debates that continue to resonate today. The use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki raised questions about the morality and legality of nuclear weapons. The immense devastation they caused underscored the sheer power of this new technology and the potential horrors it could unleash. Following World War II, these ethical debates played a significant role in the formation of international treaties aimed at nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. Today, the question of nuclear weapons remains a contentious issue in international relations and ethics. Moreover, the Manhattan Project serves as a stark reminder of the dual nature of scientific discovery. On one hand, it can lead to advancements that enhance our lives and our understanding of the universe. On the other, it can produce tools capable of immense destruction. In essence, the Manhattan Project underscores the responsibility that comes with scientific knowledge and technological prowess. It illustrates the delicate balance between progress and ethics, between discovery and responsibility, between power and caution. The Manhattan Project continues to shape our world, reminding us of the power of science and the responsibility it carries. The Manhattan Project, a journey through history, science, and human endeavor. We've traversed the fascinating landscape of the Manhattan Project, a quest that began in 1939 out of concern for Nazi Germany's potential nuclear capabilities. It was a time when the world was on the precipice of change, a period marked by breakthroughs in nuclear physics and profound insights into uranium and plutonium. We've stepped into the shoes of the scientific luminaries like Robert Oppenheimer and Enrico Fermi, who believed in the feasibility of this colossal endeavor. We've witnessed the organizational prowess of General Leslie Groves, who spearheaded the project, setting up numerous research and production sites, each with a distinct role in this historic mission. We took a virtual stroll through the sites that were the lifeblood of the project. Los Alamos, the epicenter of scientific research; Oak Ridge, the hub of uranium enrichment; and Hanford, the birthplace of plutonium production. Each site a testament to human ingenuity and determination. We've delved into the human element, the brilliant minds, the physicists, the engineers, and the operatives who worked under a cloak of secrecy. Their work was not without its challenges, with foreign intelligence attempting to penetrate the veil of secrecy that surrounded the project. We've also touched upon the climax of the project, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a decision that changed the course of World War II. The aftermath of the project ushered in the nuclear arms race, marking the beginning of the Cold War. The financial implications of the Manhattan Project were equally staggering, with an investment of approximately $2 billion during the war, equivalent to over $23 billion today. Finally, we've explored the lasting legacy of the Manhattan Project. From technological advancements to the ethical debates surrounding nuclear weapons, its impact continues to reverberate in our world. This is a story of human endeavor, of pushing the boundaries of what's possible, of a quest that forever altered the course of history. This is Diaries of Discovery signing off. Stay curious. Before we leave you to ponder on the profound impact of the Manhattan Project, we'd like to remind you to subscribe to our channel, Diaries of Discovery. We're committed to bringing you more insightful journeys into the annals of history, science, and human endeavor. Don't forget to click on the notification bell so you'll be first to know when we release our next video. Whether it's the mysteries of the universe or the wonders of human achievement, we promise to keep you engaged and informed. And remember, history is not just a series of events, but a tapestry of human stories. So come join us on this journey of discovery. Thank you for watching Diaries of Discovery. Until next time, stay curious.